That may be the greatest catch I've ever seen in my life.
Alright guys, we are going to try a little bit of a different thing now this week, and maybe we're going to do this for the rest of the season. On Friday, I think that every video that we make are going to be a rest of season rankings video where I go through the running backs, the wide receivers, the quarterbacks, the tight ends, and talk about what order I want them in top 24 for both the running backs and the wide receivers. Then at the quarterback and the tight end, we can do top 12. But remember, on Saturday, every single video that we are going to be making is coming from your questions I get on Instagram and Twitter. Go follow us on Instagram and Twitter. Y'all will see on my story on Instagram whenever I say swipe up with the screenshot of your team, swipe up with the start-sit question, swipe up with the trade question, and we will make videos of those on Saturday, trying to break into as many as that we can. Same thing on Twitter. You're just going to see me tweet out, hey, reply to this tweet with X, Y, and Z, and then we'll try to get to as many of your questions as possible, just in case some people cannot make it out to the live streams and they can't afford to support the show on Patreon, which I completely understand. I just want to be able to answer as many of your questions as possible. Well, now let's get into our top 24 running back rankings, rest of season, and let's start it off with Derrick Henry. Now, I know y'all are going to be so surprised to see Derrick Henry up here at the #1 spot, but this correlates exactly with what we've been talking about with Derrick Henry's easiest strength of schedule for the rest of the fantasy football season. When you look at what he's going to have in weeks 14, 15, 16 in terms of the playoffs for fantasy football, he should be a complete smash. I mean, Derrick Henry, we know against bad teams like the Jacksonville Jaguars, is a threat to go over 200 total yards with multiple touchdowns any given week when he has that type of matchup. Clearly, the Tennessee Titans have been able to maintain that elite level of efficiency that they've had since Ryan Tannehill took over. So I think there are so many reasons to be excited about Derrick Henry. All right, now coming in here at 2, this running back actually has a very bad rest of season schedule, but he's seeing so many touches in the offense, and he's an elite talent where it really does not make too much sense having him lower than this. This is going to be Dalvin Cook. Guys, with Dalvin Cook, we know every single week he's seeing 30 touches in this Minnesota Vikings offense. I mean, if the coaching staff could, they would go out there and just every single play run Dalvin Cook up the middle. If that's how they could win football games, I swear to God, they want to just hand that ball off every play and try to get it out of Kirk Cousins' hands. And with Justin Jefferson breaking out and providing that vertical threat to this offense, really, we've seen the Minnesota Vikings be a completely different team than the first 2 weeks. So here, Dalvin Cook, even though he has some tough matchups upcoming, like the Chicago Bears, I think he's still going to have to be up here at 2. Now, coming at 3, we are going to have Alvin Kamara. Guys, I will say real quick, I am worried about Alvin Kamara. And I know a lot of people want to blame his Week 11 struggles on the fact that he was injured going into Week 11, where he missed practice on both Wednesday and Thursday. But guys, there are real reasons to be concerned. With Taysom Hill only getting Alvin Kamara 1 target that game, and that was a target called on a screenplay where Taysom Hill is the kind of quarterback that's going to look at his first option. If that is not there, he is going to either run the ball or he's just going to throw it out, really not looking to check the ball down to Alvin Kamara at all. I think we see that regress back a little bit, where maybe we can see Alvin Kamara to get 3 to 4 receptions every single game Taysom Hill is starting. But on top of that, we know that Taysom Hill is a threat to have some rushing equity in terms of at the goal line for this New Orleans Saints offense. So I think we have to have Alvin Kamara down here at 3. Now, coming in at 4, we are going to have a running back that's been down in production the past 2 weeks, but I think he is going to come back. And this is going to be Aaron Jones. With Aaron Jones, I know a lot of people are concerned that Jamal Williams has continued to see touches in this offense. But guys, if you are worried about that, you clearly don't understand where Aaron Jones has been able to get his fantasy value all the way since 2017. He does not do it with seeing 25 touches a game. No, that's not how he plays. He gets that value by seeing the most efficient touches in the Green Bay Packers offense, where really it doesn't matter if Jamal Williams is getting carries between the 20s, as long as Aaron Jones continues to see the targets out of the backfield and get usage at the goal line. Aaron Jones can provide you that elite ceiling and a great offense. All right, now coming in here at 5, he would be at number 1 if he was not injured. Christian McCaffrey. I know a lot of people always are asking in the live streams, are we going to get Christian McCaffrey back in 2020? My answer to that is I think we need to see how week 12 is, knowing that if the Carolina Panthers win this week, they'll be in a position where they could still be in arm's length to the real life NFL playoffs. So I think then they will bring back Christian McCaffrey after their bye week, and then we could see McCaffrey be the number 1 overall running back in the fantasy football playoffs. Clearly, if you're a team that the trade deadline is not passed already and you really need production in your starting lineup right now, maybe you're 5-6 and you need to get to the fantasy football playoffs, then you look to just get off Christian McCaffrey on your roster, not being able to afford missing the next 2 weeks without him. But if you are a team that's locked into the playoffs, I find it very hard to get rid of Christian McCaffrey because we know he has that league-winning upside. All right, now coming in here at 6, I'm going to be so much higher on him than any other fantasy football analyst. We are going to have Myles Sanders. So with Myles Sanders, guys, he's pretty much had his worst case scenario the past 2 weeks, where really the weather has not been there. At the same time, Carson Wentz has been one of the worst quarterbacks in the entire NFL. Now, if you want to blame this on Carson Wentz, if you want to blame this on the offensive line, if you want to blame this on the lack of playmakers, it does not change the fact that we have had that really bad quarterback play from Carson Wentz the past 2 weeks, and I think that it can only get better because if Carson Wentz continues to play at this level, they are going to be forced to bring in Jalen Hurts, and with Jalen Hurts, I think that we would see this offense be able to be a little bit more efficient running the ball because we know that Jalen Hurts has that Lamar Jackson type rushing ability where the linebackers really aren't able to go out there and crash in on the running back because they're going to make sure that Jalen Hurts can't escape the edge. All right, so now our running back 7, we are going to have Josh Jacobs. Guys, with Jacobs, this is a running back that is just exciting at every level of the football field. But what's most exciting is the fact that this Las Vegas Raiders offense has continued to progress as the season goes on. Derek Carr is playing some of the best football we've seen him play in the past few years. I think this has actually been attributed to Henry Ruggs stretching the field for this Las Vegas Raiders team, taking away that safety attention. Also, we have to give credit where credit is due to Nelson Agholor, who's been one of the most efficient wide receivers in the NFL in 2020. All that is going to do is that's going to open up the box for Josh Jacobs, where teams can't bring down that extra safety to stuff Jacobs at the goal line. And really, it looks like this has been best case scenario so far. All right. Now, coming in here at running back 8, this is going to be a lot lower than where all of y'all have him. I know that most of you have him as a top 5 option, but we are going to have Nick Chubb. Honestly, I could be convinced to move Nick Chubb a little bit lower than here, but if you're valuing him at running back 8, really, it doesn't matter because everybody else in your league is going to be valuing him higher than this anyway. But with Nick Chubb, guys, I don't know how many times I have to dive into it. He has seen 4 total targets so far in 2020. One of the most one-dimensional running backs in the entire NFL currently. Yes, he could very easily be the best pure runner of the football in the entire NFL, but that does not change the fact that it's going to be very hard for him to have that top 3 upside without seeing targets out of the backfield and without playing on one of the best offenses in football. I'll say real quick, I know a lot of people are going to want to come at me saying, well, you have Derrick Henry ranked at number 1. Why do you have Nick Chubb ranked at number 8? Guys, Derrick Henry sees about 3 to 4 targets a game. And on top of that, Derrick Henry is playing in a much better offense than the Cleveland Browns. So clearly, Derrick Henry is way higher than Nick Chubb. The one thing that keeps Nick Chubb up here at 8 is honestly his rest of season schedule is very, very easy. So a very talented running back, but the usage in the offense is concerning. But he's going to be here at 8 regardless because of that rest of season schedule. All right, so coming in here at 9, I wanted to have him higher than this. I wanted to put him ahead of Nick Chubb. We just could not because of the schedule. We are going to have DeAndre Swift. DeAndre Swift truly looks like a league winner right now, where once he gets past concussion protocol, we are going to be projecting him to be that workhorse type running back for the Detroit Lions. We know that he's going to be getting the usage at the goal line. He's going to be seeing the targets out of the backfield. He was my number 1 running back going into the NFL draft in 2020. Love the talent profile with DeAndre Swift, and he's finally getting the opportunity to showcase that bell cow ability. All right, so coming in here, rounding out our top 10 running backs, we are going to have Austin Ekeler. With Ekeler, we really just have to watch that hamstring, see when he is going to be able to come back. There was a viral clip of Austin Ekeler where he was on his Twitch stream, and he said that he was feeling 100% good, no pain left in that hamstring. Clearly, that doesn't mean anything until we see him on the field, but he's going to be coming back into an offense that's one of the most productive offenses in the entire NFL. Joshua Kelly's pretty much been completely phased out. Justin Jackson is now on the short-term IR, so it's just going to be Austin Ekeler and Kalen Ballage. We're going to be expecting Ekeler to see 70% of this team snaps and get all the usage in the passing game. Should easily be a running back 1 when he comes back. Okay, now coming in here at running back 11, another guy that I know a lot of y'all are going to be a lot higher on than I am, James Robinson. Yes, guys, James Robinson is one of the most talented running backs in the entire NFL. I mean, if you look at what he's been able to accomplish in his rookie season so far, I mean, if you did not get the chance to watch our Dynasty Fantasy Football on James Robinson, we did some historical research trying to figure out the running backs that have seen at least 60 rushing yards a game and 30 receiving yards a game like James Robinson. And that list was pretty much James Robinson, Le'Veon Bell, and Marshall Faulk. I mean, James Robinson is an elite tier. The problem is he's playing in the worst offense in the entire NFL, so goal line opportunities are going to be far and few between, and we know that the schedule isn't exactly a cakewalk for James Robinson rest of season. All right, so coming in here at running back 12, going to end our running back 1 list. He is currently playing right now, so if he got injured, guys, completely ignore what I'm about to say. Antonio Gibson. Guys, with Antonio Gibson, it looks like we are looking at a full-on breakout. Antonio Gibson, yes, I want to remind y'all, I am recording this video as that Dallas game is going on, so we really don't have a great idea of what Antonio Gibson was able to accomplish in that game. So far, we're about the first half. He's looking really strong. Hopefully, he does not get injured by me ranking him here as a low-end running back 1, but I think we can safely assume now that he has that locked-in role, also getting targets out of the backfield, now that he is that bell cow for the Washington football team, that Antonio Gibson is going to have more upside than almost any other running back that we are looking at, because Antonio Gibson was that former wide receiver coming out of Memphis. He has an elite athletic profile that really puts him up in the tier of an athlete like a Saquon Barkley. He has the size, literally everything that you would want to see from Antonio Gibson, you are getting right now. All right, now coming in here at running back 13, behind Antonio Gibson, I know a lot of people are going to hate this, we are going to have Chris Carson. With Chris Carson, this is a running back that I'm worried about a couple things. One, we know that this is not a new thing for him to be showing the fact that he can easily get injured for long durations, where we never really know when Chris Carson's going to be available for our fantasy football team. As well, we are going to be getting Rashad Penny back to the Seattle Seahawks offense sometime soon. I don't think that Penny's going to be the number 1 running back on the offense, but I think he is going to be taking away touches. All right, now coming in here at running back 14, we're going to have to put him here based on the volume that he's seeing in his offense. Ezekiel Elliott. Really hope we don't see an injury to Zeke. Like I said, we are recording this halfway through that Dallas Cowboys game. But here with Ezekiel Elliott, this is a running back that's pretty much getting every single touch in the game-neutral situation for the Dallas Cowboys. Clearly, the one problem is just the overall productivity for this Dallas Cowboys offense has never been lower throughout Ezekiel Elliott's entire NFL career. So if they are going to continue to use Tony Pollard when the game gets out of hand, if we are going to see this offense continue to be one of the worst offenses in the entire NFL, I think we're going to have Ezekiel Elliott down here as a high-end running back too, but it's still going to be hard to get away from him with how many touches he's seeing in his offense. All right, so now coming in here at running back 15, someone I got entirely wrong in 2020, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Guys, with Clyde, y'all know I loved him coming into fantasy drafts in 2020. We are looking at him being the feature down running back for the most prolific offense in football. I loved the profile as he was looking like an elite pass catcher. But what happened is Le'Veon Bell got signed to this team. And on top of that, they decided that they want to use Darrell Williams for about 23% of this team snaps. And if that's going to happen, I think Clyde Edwards-Helaire is going to have a lot lower floor than most people want to admit. Although I love the talent, I love the offense, I just think that this backfield's being split up too much, where we know this offense really does not want to run the ball to begin with, where Clyde Edwards-Helaire is going to have a very hard time finding that elite level usage. All right, so now our next running back 16. This is going to be higher than where most people have him, but we are going to have J.K. Dobbins. J.K. Dobbins, right now, it looks like he's not going to play on Sunday for the Baltimore Ravens. But when we are looking at J.K. Dobbins, this is a running back that looks like a full-on league winner in 2020 if he continues to expand his opportunity in the Baltimore Ravens offense. He was prolific coming out of Ohio State. He has an elite athletic profile. He can catch passes. He can handle the majority of the usage. He's playing in an offense that has a ton of efficiency. Really, everything that you're seeing from J.K. Dobbins, you love on a running back profile. All right, now coming in here at running back 17, someone else that looks like he could win fantasy football leagues in 2020, Jonathan Taylor. Guys, Jonathan Taylor coming off a week where he saw 25 total touches. I think that he is definitely going to be one of the highest risers from our last week's rankings. He has that elite athletic profile, very similar to a J.K. Dobbins or an Antonio Gibson. He can catch balls out of the backfield. I don't think that he's going to easily be by far and away the most productive running back in the NFL, but I think that we are going to see him continue to step up into his role in the Indianapolis Colts and provide that team a ton of usage. All right, now coming in here at running back 18, he has a great schedule rest of season. He is killing Nick Chubb's fantasy football elite ceiling. This is Kareem Hunt. Guys, Kareem Hunt getting usage at the goal line, getting usage in the receiving game, has a great schedule. Really nothing else to say. He's a fantastic talent. He obviously can't be in that running back 1 range though because he's not seeing enough touches week to week. But here we are going to have Kareem Hunt as a mid running back 2. All right, so coming in here at running back 19, we're going to have a running back that we hated coming into the season, but now his opportunity is too much to pass up on. David Montgomery. Guys, I know David Montgomery's very bad. I've been the #1 leader of the David Montgomery hate club, where this was a running back that we wanted nothing to do with the past 2 seasons because he has no athleticism. If he somehow manages to get past the linebackers, they're just going to catch up with him in 10 yards anyway, so it really does not matter. He cannot score a touchdown out of the red zone, but the Chicago Bears have a great schedule the rest of the season, and David Montgomery is going to be seeing every single touch in that backfield. All right, now coming in here at running back 20, very, very sad to have him this low. James Conner. Guys, if I told you that the Pittsburgh Steelers were going to be 10-0, James Conner was going to be healthy for the majority of the season, and we were not going to see a full-on breakout from either Benny Snell, Jalen Samuels, any of the other running backs in that backfield, you would just naturally assume that James Conner was a running back 1, but right now that is not the case. For whatever reason, they want to continue to give the ball to Benny Snell and Chase Claypool at the goal line, really vulturing all of the touchdowns away from James Conner. He's not getting enough usage in the passing game to make up for it, so we are going to have Conner down here at running back 20. All right, so now coming in here at running back 21, we are going to have Kenyan Drake. Kenyan Drake playing on one of the best offenses in football, but the problem is not getting targeted out of the backfield. Also, we know that Kyler Murray is going to vulture touchdowns at the goal line. While this was another running back that I hated coming into the year, very similar to a Nick Chubb, very similar to a David Montgomery. Y'all know all of our fades. Still, I think Kenyan Drake has to profile as a low-end running back too, just because the rest of the position looks nasty. All right, so coming in here at running back 22 is going to be Myles Gaskin. Guys, Myles Gaskin, I think, is actually going to slide up to being a high-end running back too when he comes back for this Miami Dolphins offense because he is a great pass-catching running back out of the backfield. And on top of that, before he got injured, he was also getting usage at the goal line for the Miami Dolphins. This offense has improved as the year has gone on. So with Myles Gaskin, I think that as soon as he comes back, he's going to be that high-end running back too. But because of the injury, we're going to have him down here at running back 22. All right, so coming in here at running back 23, a running back that's about to come off the IR, Raheem Mostert. Guys, with Mostert, I've been saying we do not want anything to do with this San Francisco 49ers backfield because it's going to be a committee. It's going to be very hard to project. And now, without George Kittle, the offensive line is not even going to be very efficient in their run blocking ability. So Raheem Mostert, I'm going to be significantly lower on than most. Talking about players that I'm significantly lower on than most, y'all know our #1 sell high running back for pretty much the past month, Todd Gurley, coming down here at running back 24. The Atlanta Falcons offense is not good enough for Todd Gurley to not be catching passes out of the backfield, for Todd Gurley to have no athleticism left, no juice left. Really looks like he's getting outplayed by Brian Hill now, something that I've been talking about all season. The efficiency is horrendous, and he's not getting the high value touches in the offense. All right, now thank you guys. I really hope y'all enjoyed this video. I really hope y'all got something from it. I will be live streaming tonight at 9 p.m. Central. I really hope to see y'all there.